Good evening, friends. Welcome back to Rajunotes channel. Thank you for subscribing, and it has been a milestone. I had crossed 500 subscribers. Thank you so much for your love. ऐसे ही प्यार बरकरार रखना. I'll also request if you can introduce this channel to your juniors because the current affairs will be helpful for those appearing for the Part B and Part D exam also. And okay, with that, let's go ahead. India joins the Djibouti Code of Conduct as observers. Djibouti is a small place near Gulf of Eden. From Gulf of Eden is basically the place from where the shipping lanes happen, the major trade happens, and it is close to Somalia. And as you all know, that the pirate problem of Somalia is really high. And though Indian Navy presence is there, India has rescued many of the merchant ships in that area, but still, it had no official say in it. Now, officially, India has joined this Djibouti Code of Conduct, which is also called as Jeddah Amendment, as observer. And the this basically comprising of 18 members. These are basically the members who are adjoining the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden area. Israel, UAE, Bahrain have signed an Abraham Accord at US White House. Now, understand this part, Abraham Accord. And basically, the UAE and Bahrain are the first Arab countries to have established tie with Israel in 26 years. So this is what is important, and US is trying to push in more and more Arab countries to recognize Israel, and probably he is trying to maybe get a Nobel Prize out of this, and also some kind of development between the Arab and Israel conflict areas. The Attle tunnel, which has been under construction for a long time, finally it has been done, and the distance because of this tunnel is now reduced by 46 kilometers, and this is seen as a very good initiative by India because it is reducing the lot of movement for the armed forces. The supplies can be there throughout the year without worrying about cold and snow. It is said that India and China have fired about 200 rounds of firing in the air, though it has always been maintained that both sides don't carry weapons, and there is understanding that nobody will fire. But post Galwan, things have now dynamic, and it is reported, though it was under kept under secret for a long time, but now it is clear that both the troops have participated in some kind of an air firing. Yoshihide Suga is the new Japan's prime minister. He has taken over after the resignation of Shinzo Abe, and he's nearly 71 years old, and he was working with Shinzo Abe. So let's hope that his presence will also help India like it had been under Shinzo Abe. US is selling F-35 jets to UAE. Basically, these are the advanced fifth generation fighter jets which US is selling to UAE. Israel has subjected to it because in that area it will change the dynamics, but still US is going ahead with this kind of a sale. It can be seen, if you can see it in a larger geopolitical issue, so you can understand that the shift is slowly happening between Israel and UAE. In a very strange, probably Sai warfare, China was playing Punjabi songs towards the soldiers of ours who are deployed in the Pangong Tso Lake. And probably China is, I think, is still in that cocoon of 1960s, which wherein he was before attacking, he would, you know, go on with the saying Hindi Chini bye bye, Hindi Chini bye bye, and and one day he just took off. So probably he might be thinking that it is on the same lines, and he's playing Punjabi songs. But Indians are in no mood to take this lightly. The MIT engineers have, this is an SMT point, the MIT engineers have developed a fisheye lens that is completely flat. What is fisheye lens? It is basically, fisheye lens is the one which is there in your all kinds of camera. It is round in shape, and if you see your camera, it is concave and round in shape, and it has got its limited field of view. But once now, this lens what they have developed is completely flat, and this can give you 180 degrees panoramic images. So put this in form of your equipment which you use in defense forces, and see if this can have some impact on our defense forces. uh, Government is asking foreign firms to source more local material for their projects as part of Make in India. The Prime Minister is pushing more and more towards Make in India. This, I feel, is an important topic because it might figure out in your current affairs on Make in India or Atmanirbhar Bharat. It is for sure because the way it is going on. Our The aircraft carrier INS Virat finally is decommissioned, and it is, as of now, as of when I'm recording, I think it's already reached the shipbreaking factory at Alang. INS Virat had served in Indian Navy for about 30 years. I mean, it was decommissioned in 2007, and it is now under the process of being breaking and being sold as a scrap. Okay, after the Wuhan virus, now China is again selling some new kind of a disease, and this time it is called as brucellosis. It is said that it affects cattle, swine, goat, sheep, and dogs. It causes flu-like symptoms like weakness. It causes like weakness, malaise, weight loss, and other things. Human can get infected through direct contact, but see, now we are waiting for this kind of a wave. I don't know what China is up to. Anyway, China has, remember this, the China has raised a new separate aviation arm called as Xinjiang Luang. I hope I'm reading it right, brigade, or in short it is called as Tibet LH Brigade at Lhasa. This was, for quite some time, it was on their drawing board, but the work has now started. And it is basically, they have created a new helipad which will allow for another pickup and drop of their logistics. India has created a 500 rupees test called as Fluida, and this is, I think, has been done in conjunction with Tata's, and this is the cheapest test in the world as of today, and it gives results of COVID-19 in less than 30 minutes. A new farm bill, three farm bills have been introduced by the center. Now one should know what these farm bills are, wherein now the farmers are not confined to their specific farm area. They can sell it to anyone of their choice. They can decide their own price. Now, this is seen as a good step, wherein farmer will no more be at the mercies of the middlemen who were buying their grain and selling it at their own prices. Now companies like Big Basket, Grofers, they can directly buy it from the farmers from wherever they want. Whoever pays the better price, that person can take the product from the farmer. Though it is a good thing, but political issues are going on, and they are creating a ruckus over this. Now, Maldives. This presentation, Maldives figures out a lot of times. Please keep a note on Maldives. India is now very proactive in providing whatsoever assistance Maldives is asking for. Basically, understand this: Maldives is becoming Indian extension, or I can say, we will be not wrong if we say that Maldives will be now acting as an extension of Indian naval base. And for in that process, India has been developing their roads, infrastructures, giving financial assistance, and you name a thing, it is there. If you see here, we have given them 1,840 crores as a financial assistance, and let the topic be anything else. After a quite long time, India and China have finally decided that they will not send any more troops to the front line. Then they said whatever troops are there, we'll continue with that. But I still doubt. Chinese can never be believed. A sure short question will figure out in the exam in current affairs, wherein they will ask about the genesis of Galwan, then the aftermath of Galwan. How did the troop buildup happen? How did India change its stance from being reactive force to a proactive force? How did we take on those helmet top, black top things, and how did the Vikas do an exceptional job? So these questions will be figuring out. Okay, even in this post pandemic scenario, 16 nations have given visa free entry to Indian passport holders. So these include the names like which have been given here, like Barbados, Dominos, Hatay, Hong Kong, SAR, Maldives, Montserrat, New Islands, etc. etc. Basically, the point is that the Indian passport's value is increasing. That is a point here we must say. So this should be seen as our external affairs policy. How we are going ahead with our external affairs policy. Okay, DRDO has successfully test fired its laser guided anti-tank guided missile, that is ATGM, from MBT Arjun at this Armored Corps Center and School, which is at Ahmednagar, and it had successfully hit a target at 3 kilometers. Please understand, it's a laser guided anti tank from the MBT Arjun. The lady pilots are also women pilots, I mean to say, are also now being inducted into the Rafale squadron, and Flight Lieutenant Shivangi Singh becomes the first lady woman pilot to fly a Rafale. She was flying MiG 21 Bisons till now in Rajasthan. Uh, for the first time, the Saudi king has addressed UN, and he has blamed Iran for the instability in the region. Please understand this geopolitical thing, what is happening in the Middle East. It will again form a part of question, wherein the question will be how is there a shift in the thought process or the geopolitical process with special attention to Iran, Saudi, UAE, and Israel. So there will be a sure shot question, and maybe in a some kind of a manner, in a complicated manner, or in a very straightforward question or a twisted question, but it will figure out. It is said that China has been attacking the Indian satellite communications in 2007, 2012 to 2018. It is said that, and this was revealed by the US based China Aerospace Studies Institute. And it is said that China even tried to have a direct accent kinetic kill and energy weapons used against India. We can't really say it because it is nothing in the public domain, but you should know something of this sort is happening with China. China has tried something like this. So it is the hybrid warfare. You can include this point in the hybrid warfare. The Rajya Sabha passes the Foreign Contribution Regulation Amendment Bill 2020, the FCRA. This, if a question comes, what do you mean by FCRA? So it is this. Its main motive is to ensure that the foreign funds do not dominate the political and the social discourse of India. Like foreign countries keep pumping money and to one particular part of political party, they buy out the media and influence the thing, like what we have seen in US. It is always blamed that the Facebook has some kind of a role in US elections. Okay, another DRDO success is this Abhyas vehicle, missile test vehicle called as Abhyas. Now, test vehicle Abhyas is it has successfully tested the indigenously developed the Abhyas high speed expendable aerial targets. It is called as HEAT, high speed expendable aerial targets. There is also something called as a MEET, maneuverable expendable aerial target. So if a question figures out as to what is HEAT and MEET developed by DRDO, please do not get confused. It is something to do as a and they are basically targets. What you see here, this is a target which flies at a speed of almost realistic to an aircraft, and the air defense systems fire onto this, and for their practice, or for various kinds of things. It gives a realistic target practice. Now, as India has put in more and more assertive step forward in Indo-China border, somehow China, I don't know whether it is their Sun Tzu policy of trying to becoming sobering down, or is it really that Xi is not able to take the pressure which is mounting on him. I really don't know. I can't trust China still. He said that he has no intention to fight a cold or a hot war with any country. For he specifically said that not for India, but generic, for which basically now China faces criticism for his Hong Kong already. Taiwan is already on its doorsteps. He's trying to, and now India is there. He's trying to act on something in Tibet. So he says, I don't want to fight anything, but I have my serious doubts on this, whether this guy will stand on his words. They did the same thing with Hindi Chini Bye Bye in 1962, so not to believe them. The PASSEX exercise, PASSEX exercise, which involves Royal Australian Navy and Indian Navy warships, completed 2 days. And here in this PASSEX exercise, the seamanship was tried between two navies. The weapon drills, the cross-deck fire flying was undertaken, and the interoperability was checked. Again, this is a kind of a rope, or what you call as a loop, which we are trying to put over China to have a dominance in the Indian Ocean region. And we are taking many steps like this, and the next one is also like that. We also recently undertook the fourth edition of the India Japan Maritime Bilateral Exercise, which is called as GIMEX. The PASSEX, GIMEX, all these things have happened, and we did this with the Japanese Maritime Self Defense Force, which is called as JMSDF. And again, here we did our exercise of basically interoperability, and in case of requirement, how can all these navies put together save our shipping lines in the Indian Ocean region. In the same step in our foreign policy, if you see, after Maldives, India is slowly trying to get into the Sri Lanka. It has already extended 15 million grant to Sri Lanka in names of Buddhist cultural ties. This was already there. There was a direct flight from Colombo to the Bodh Gaya, and somehow it went on a back burner because of the political situation in the Sri Lanka. But now India is slowly trying to revive that. India is slowly trying to help Sri Lanka. Probably Sri Lanka has also realized that the Chinese are good with money whenever they want, but they will not leave their land. And like what the Hamanpota port was taken. So India is trying its best to do something in that place. PM Modi spoke in the 75th UN General Assembly over the video conferencing, but I personally, I feel this was the best I could imagine of any Indian speaking in the UN, because for the first time, someone has put up a point in UN with a conviction that India, being such a wide player in UN, all UN organizations, with fourth largest army, and the army of India is reputed in United Nations, yet we are not a permanent member. And he brought out a point that UN was formed with some kind of an agenda way old, when there were cold wars going on, World War One and Two going on. Now the things have changed. He has also questioned as to what and where was UN when the COVID outbreak happened. So he says, he certainly says that there is a need to probably reorganize, revamp the system. I really don't think something will happen, but yes, he has put a seed of kind of a subtle dissent in the international forum. Let's see if it grows. People said the same thing when in he banned TikTok, and in the first go with the Chinese thing, they said it is only making just a facade. But see, slowly it has taken over America, and now TikTok banning is a big issue in America as of now. And now again, Maldives is figuring out. Now see the development here. The first India Maldives cargo ferry has moved out from the Tuticorin port, and it has already reached to the Maldives, Malay. So if you see now, the direct cargo ferry service has started. It might so happen that from now on next, you can just take a ferry and move to Maldives for your vacations and come back, and that kind of a thing. So India is now going all out to help Maldives in their present times, and also in return get help in terms of its sea power, using the Maldives as its base. We discussed in the previous one that India is allowing the private players to come into the ISRO, and in this place, the company called as Skyroot Aerospace, which is a Hyderabad-based company, it has all unveiled a cryogenic rocket engine, which basically cryogenic rocket engine is the one which runs on liquid natural gas, and it uses liquid fuel and an oxidizer that is maintained at extremely cold temperatures. It is used in as a rocket propulsion system. So that they have developed this cryogenic rocket engine called as Dhawan 1. Point to be noted, what is Dhawan 1 and what is Skyroots? So it is a private company which has done this. So it is a welcome step into the ISRO. Let's see if private players keep coming up onto this field also. Now, India has already deployed a T-90 and T-72 tanks along with the BMP-2s, that is the infantry combat vehicle, in the Ladakh sector near the LAC. And it is said that these tanks have the capabilities to operate at even minus 40 degrees centigrade. So let's hope that these stay there, and the Fire and Fury Corps has deployed, this is a corps which is, I think, looking after that area, and the Major General Arvind Kapoor had made this revelation that these tanks are already there to counter any kind of Chinese threat. Chinese tanks have also come. Now, a question what can be asked is, will China now stay in the winters, with winters setting in and the temperatures already falling to minus 20 and so on? So, will the Chinese troops still hold on in their place, or will they pull back? It's a big question, and the next month, about in a month or so, we'll come to know what is the actual stand which is going to happen there. And probably now we'll go on to the lines of what happens with the our western border. Worldwide scenario, there have been clashes which have started in between Armenia and Azerbaijan. There is a dispute already between these two countries at the Nagorno and Karabakh region. But why it is important to discuss here is, it is not the just these two countries, which is Armenia and Azerbaijan, which are clashing over. Please understand that now this, if it escalates, it is pulling, and rather not pulling is a correct, sucking in the USSR, that is Russia and Iran. Russia supports Armenia and Iran supports Azerbaijan. So if the clashes escalate, then these two countries get in, and if these two countries get in, then it is going to escalate into the nearby region. So this eye is there. Probably by next update we'll come to know more about this particular topic, and if there is something, I'll update you. Again, Maldives figuring out, we have gifted India has gifted Dornier maritime surveillance aircraft. This aircraft, what you see on the picture, is a Dornier aircraft, which is a naval version, and this is used for surveillance. And India has gifted this to the Maldives government for the. It is basically, the aircraft will assist in the ongoing joint surveillance activities by the India and Maldives of the exclusive economic zones under command of the command and control of Maldives and MNDF, which is as of now also engaged in the humanitarian relief. Right, and it's in a very strong statement. India has said that it rejected China's claim that the position of LAC on Ladakh of 1959 should be accepted, but India categorically said that it is not possible. It was there was some kind of a letter in between Nehru and Enlai in 1959, but India says no, it is not correct, because if you see, the LAC crisscrosses the river at many places with some kind of a place here and there. India has always maintained that at least the natural geographical boundary should be maintained, but somehow it is not there. So again, this topic, something will come up. I'll keep updating you in the next video. Probably by then we'll come to know what is the stance of China in this area. Uh, a disc 4, the DISC 4. What is disc 4? Disc 4 is basically Defense India Startup Challenge 4. This is again inviting the innovators and the enterprises basically to find solutions pertaining to 11 fields in the defense sector, like the real time health monitoring system of the air crew who are flying, basically the fighter pilot or the logistic pilots or the helicopter pilots, basically, and then you have the AI based satellite image analysis and the computer generated targets for virtual training, etc., etc. And up to about 1.5 crores will be granted to the selected startup. So last to last update also, we had discussed the Atmanirbhar in the defense sector. So here now the Air Force also enters the fray. And as I was discussing earlier, the Air Force Chief, that is Air Staff Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhaduria, said that we will follow no war, no peace status. That means to say that till now, the sector which was not so hot active, henceforth the eastern borders will have no war, no peace scenario. That means the simmering will always be there. It's a new development, and again it's an assertive point from our side. Well, that's it, friends, for the update of the September. I do understand that this gets little longer, and I also understand that when you see this presentation or the video on your laptop, it might not be in a correct format because I am making this in a format for your mobiles, so that whenever you get some time, maybe even if you don't listen to the complete thing, at least you get to know some kind of a gist of this videos I shall be making this videos of current affairs and SMT till the time you write your exams. So whenever possible, if not now, even if you miss it now, someday you decided when you're going, just switch on the channel and keep listening to it when you're probably in your vehicle or somewhere other place. And I'll see you next with my next video on 15th of October. Till then, take care, and thank you so much for your support once again. And I hope I'll give you more and more updates very soon.